The Niners brought in Mychal Kendricks for a workout, linebacker, veteran. Do you think they should sign him? Why or why not? Show your work.
Yes. Sign him because I think we're outside of defensive line, if you look top to bottom that defense, it's kind of funny how you go from, boy, they are enormously stacked at defensive line. Then you start to break it down. You look at, okay, corner, we covered that. Lack. Mm-hmm. Safety is officially lack. Linebacker's pretty lacking too. You know, it's just top heavy with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. And even Azeez Al-Shaair, like personally, like he's cool as a backup and I guess base defense. But other than that, I mean, he's not really someone I feel like you can feel comfortable about if any with Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner are gone. I mean, there could be worse, but outside of them, the fact that Azeez has already been out, if one of those guys are out, it already exposes all the depth, the lack of depth that's behind them, because who else is stepping up? I mean, I think I tried asking one of you guys one of the other days, like, hey, what's linebacker actually like stepping up? Grant said Marcel Harris. I'm like, I thought to myself, that's kind of a problem. Yeah. That's kind of a problem. I mean, good that he's showing good box work. But I feel like I was always known.
Can I amend what I said? I wouldn't say that Marcel Harris is stepping up. I was just saying, like, if you had to pick someone,
that's not good.
It would be Marcel Harris.
That's not a good sign. That's what I'm saying. That's not a good sign about the other linebackers, which I thought, I'm like, who the hell are these other guys? Like, at some point, are they going to develop them? I mean, you can only develop so many players. That's why I think, yes, sign Mychal Kendricks. He has some talent. He'd be a cool 3rd or 4th option there to build the cushion for depth, and you get a little bit of quality, a little veteran player. I mean, he's not going to cost too much. You got a little bit of cap space to splurge on. Why not? At least that way you don't have too much to worry about in terms of depth. Other than now, you just got to focus on secondary, which you hope you have Ambry Thomas and Diamador to work on, and Hufanga and the safety. So sign Mychal Kendricks, fill in that need.
Yeah, I'm with this. Go ahead and sign him. It's similar to the Clinton Dix signing,
right?
Where you've got guys there, but bring in another veteran, see if you can push, because Jonas Griffiths had a good camp at the Sandbacker. He's the one that's taking the starters reps now with Azeez Al-Shaair out. So get him in there, let him push him, and let's see if he can elevate him. He's either it's not going to be a high money signing if they do bring him in. So bring him in, let him compete, get the best guys out there, and then that'll let them decide it out between themselves.
I like the comparison to Clinton did. Let me try in English. I like the comparison to the Clinton Dix signing. That was really astute. That was smart, Jack. See, I do better when I speak English. I don't know what that was. Anyway, I don't know any other languages, so I was inventing that on the fly. Mychal Kendricks always seemed good. I mean, he didn't play last year. The year before, he started 14 games, played 650 snaps. I mean, who's to say he's worse than Azeez Al-Shaair? Who's to say? Why not? He'd probably cost him $0 guaranteed. You could bring him in. If he makes a team, give him like $900,000, and if he doesn't, give him a bus ticket to Reno or whatever. I'm just saying, yeah, great, definitely, grand, tremendous, do it.
Reno wouldn't be bad. That's a nice little. Hey, thanks. Here's Reno,
biggest little town in the world. I'm just all right. Last topic of the day. Okay, what does Brandon Ayuk potentially returning punts mean for Richie James Jr. on this team, Jack?
Yeah, I think this could be the writing on the wall for Richie James as far as, him not being with the 49ers this season. He hasn't looked good in training camp. He's dropping the ball consistently, especially when Trey Lance throws it to him. And his only real job is to be a kick returner. And at this point, if you're going to have Brandon Ayuk handling those duties, there's not a need for James to be there. So I think it might mean that he's on his way out.
He said duty. Jose,
shut the.
Sorry, I grew up watching Beavis and Butthead. It's ingrained. I'm sorry.
He said duty.
Please don't know about that, but yeah. Anyway,
I know about that.
I know about that. What are you talking
about? Jose.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone. On another stream I do with Leo, we've talked about who really needs an impressive training camp. He mentioned, or one of us mentioned Richie James, but either way, we're both in agreement, saying that. Yeah, you have Trent. This is even before Sherfield was showing off in training camp. You got Trent Sherfield. They picked up another guy off waivers from the Rams who was a returner as well. Ayuk throwing his name for that. I think he's donezo. He's donezo a little bit to me. I think I was a year too early last year.
Kind of finished when you're donezo. There's no coming
back. I think that last year I was a year too early because I thought, maybe they'll try to, I don't know, John Jennings, all these other players that they thought were going to throw in. And even John Jennings himself has been stepped up as a receiver more than Richie James. So I think he's finito. He's done so. No mo.
Ooh, that's rough.
It's
Okay,
over.
let me ask you guys. Does it if they don't keep Richie James Jr., does that mean that you think they'll keep only 5 wide receivers, or the 6th wide receiver will be? Because I'm thinking they keep Ayuk, Samuel, Sanu, Sherfield. I think they definitely and Hurd, even though he didn't do anything. I think they're probably going to keep Hurd because he looked pretty good yesterday. So that's 5. And then James, I kind of had penciled in as number 6, not because they're going to use him. I don't think they're going to use him if he makes a team. That's which is the funniest thing. Like, why even have him? But because you're afraid the Seahawks know what to do with him and you don't. Fine. So if they don't keep him, do they keep 5 or does like Craycraft make the team? Benjamin.
Probably Craycraft. Craycraft is at least he can put in special teams work.
Craycraft looked good. He had a better camp than Richie James. Let's be. Hey, maybe Craycraft makes it. River.
He did get some run with the ones a little bit yesterday. No, when I remember Garoppolo threw a nice little thread, probably his pass of the day.
You're right.
Like 10 to 15 yards. It was a conversion on third and 8, 3rd and 12, somewhere in my notes. But I was like, wow, this is probably your throw of the day right here. Like it was right. It was literally like 10 feet in front of us, like almost by the hash.
It was 3rd and 8, and he hit him over the middle. That's what put him in 1st and goal on their 1-minute drive.
So are you guys thinking he makes his team over Richie James?
Yes,
he might. He also had the deep reception from Lance yesterday as well. He had a touchdown the day before from
Let's be honest. He's had a better camp. Although Richie James, let's just also be honest. Richie James has made plays in games, and River has not.
Well, River Craycraft was playing with.
Yeah, but what is Kyle value? Does he care about
Jimmy Jr.
Like that?
Let me just say real quick. If this were the direction the Niners want to go, all I'm going to say is, look, I feel it. I watched River outplayed Richie in training camp, no question. But if you cut River Craycraft, no one's picking him up.
Nope.
Unless he goes dumb or nuts, however you want to say it, in preseason. You could put him on the practice squad. Richie, I still feel like the Seahawks would pick him up. Maybe I'm wrong. I know they drafted that guy, Dwayne Eskridge. If not them, anyone with a quarterback, Arizona, Kansas City, anyone with a quarterback who can buy a little time, because he'd be a pretty good, I think, deep threat if you have to worry about 2 other guys in the scramble drill. He's like the other guy.
If you can give him a real chance too, I've always felt like Richard James is a little bit capable. You just give him a little opportunity. I mean, I know
He's
Green
a
Bay
horrible fit with Trey Lance though. He can't handle that fastball. I'll tell you right now.
Really? That's interesting. I know. I didn't really even see
catches the
anything
ball like
from him.
this. He traps it. Him and Travis Benjamin can't catch this fastball, in my opinion.
My God, yeah,
Travis
Benjamin. That was horrible.
I was saying bounce right off his hands. He's had a couple where he's hit him right in the hands and been gone. I think the other name that we haven't talked about is Juwan Jennings. I think it's between Craycraft and Jennings if you're looking at that sixth receiver role.
It could be Jennings too. Jennings didn't show. He missed a lot of time with COVID. Could be Jennings though. They spent a draft pick on him. Interesting. Addy says of the last 2 Niners Super Bowl teams, who would win a head-to-head matchup? We've talked about this before. 2012.
Mm-hmm.
They had a better offensive. They had a hell of an offensive line in 2012. People forget that. That offensive line was maybe the best offensive line in the league.
Yeah,
Anthony Davis.
Take 2012 with Jim Harbaugh, and he beats the living snot out of Kyle Shanahan. Sorry.
Better player, Anthony Davis or Mike McGlinchey?
Right now, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis was better. Anthony Davis was a bully.
He
never bullied me, but he was
Never.
a bully. Never. Yeah. Mike Upati was better than Laken Tomlinson. Joe Staley wasn't quite as good as Trent. But then again, Joe Staley was younger than current Trent Williams. But Joe Staley was a hell of a player. That's very close. Closer than one might say. Jonathan Goodman was a good player. Probably a little younger than Alex Mack. Well, Alex Mack. Okay, now I'm just getting confused. Sorry, Addy. You got me way too confused. Let's move on. No, that was the last thing. We can just kill time. Nah, that's the end of the show, I think. I'm exhausted. It was good to see you guys. It was great to have you guys at camp, too. That was a lot of fun. That was cool.
We're all going to be there tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, we're all going to be there tomorrow night. So make sure you follow Jose and Jack Hammer on Twitter to get all the good updates. Yes.
It's going to be a party. Bring your streamers. And bring the little twirly thing as to play at soccer games. I still don't know what it's called. I feel like a failure. I don't know what it's called. My life's incomplete now.
They have at soccer games, what they're called.
It goes like this. It rattles. And everyone's like, woo! When they're at the games.
Oh, the little Grogger thing? Yeah, absolutely.
Grogger?
I don't know what you call Jews have those. Jews have them.
How do they do that, Jose? How does it?
Do it again one more time. It goes,
there
it is. Thanks.